welcome to Gemstone Tarot. It's the weekend tarot where I've managed to get my microphone wrapped in some love cards. Okay, that's better. Let me just clip this on. I'm wearing the same jumper as I had on the other day because it's my favourite. Honestly, it was like £8 and it's from the kids section of Morrison's supermarket. But you know, I'm no stranger to a supermarket knit. I don't mind. We're all friends here. Right, what do we need to know for the weekend? I'm just looking for the cards that I was going to use. I'm going to choose different ones because I just can't find them. Mercury retrograde comes in next Wednesday and I am seriously feeling it. But what I tend to find with Mercury and me, and let me know in the comment section how you find it, I tend to find it's worse for me at the beginning and then at the end. You know, by the middle I can kind of, maybe I've adjusted. Or maybe it's just different potency. I don't know. But I know the beginning for me is like really sharp. It's a sharp incline of just mild disasters, you know, like not plugging in the microphone or something breaking. I'm going to touch wood. There you go. Yeah, and then it kind of gets to a point of, oh, can't take this anymore. And then it kind of levels off. And then towards the end, just as I feel I'm getting somewhere, it's back. Right. What do we need to know? Let me know. Let me know what you're doing with your weekend. Let me know what you're not doing with your weekend. The weather here in the UK has not been let's get out and do stuff weather. It's been I'm never going out again weather. You know, it's either freezing, half snowing, raining, or just... I saw an American on TikTok the other day, and I don't know where she was from, but somewhere in America. And she said this was her first British winter. And she couldn't believe that the sun set at about 10 to 3. And in fact, to be honest, the sun never really came out. That's how it feels when you're in this part. It shifts in January. You tend to find it just gets a bit lighter. But right now, we're in the dark. We are in the dark. Okay, oh gosh, this is a big reading. So it might be longer energy than just the weekend. Okay, let's have an overall energy card. Spiritual big jobs are on the table. That's nice. Going for one more there as well. Woof. Woof. Let's look at the cards, people. Gosh, wonky table. Check. Almost a pair of pants on the floor type time, isn't it? There we go. I love that you can just like hone in on a camera and all of your detritus and mess just disappears. Okay, we have overall energy cards of the Four of Wands, which is nice, and the King of Cups. Four of Wands is like an invitation to a portal of energy. It's not mysterious, it's just like catching the wave of something very timely rather than not being anywhere near the sea when it happens. So it's a question of luck. It's a question of a bit of luck being available to you and a path kind of, you know, it's almost as if there's a mythical wooden sign that just goes this way, and you're like, ooh, that way. It's probably not the way that you expected. And for some of you, it's to do with projects for next year, things that you're going to do for security, for money, for job, for career, for fulfillment. It could be to do with relationships too, but I feel like it's more to do with more practical things, where you're going to live, how you're going to earn money, how you're going to be satisfied. You know, even if you're retired and you're not looking at whether you can earn money or not, but you're looking at how you spend your time. This is something opening up. Could be looking at a class or an evening class for January, or doing something, learning a skill. We can all learn stuff just, you know, staying in and being on the internet if that's what you prefer. There's loads of stuff here on YouTube if you look around, all kinds of stuff going on. It's mind-boggling. Then we have the Three of Pentacles. This can be also finding others. It's finding community, finding people who are on the same page as you and joining in with them. whether that is doing something, and very much a community group card. So if you're doing something with the community, for the community, whether it's your own tribe, whether it's with others, raising money or joining a team for a job, it looks like there are one or two people in particular that you will either meet or already know, and that these people will be very central to your learning and understanding and success. Sorry, I'm trying to get the cards a bit bigger for you and failing miserably. Okay, we got the Emperor. The Emperor is about taking charge. There may be areas in your life at the moment that are slipping a little because there's so much to remember to do for all of us. Now, I don't know if life used to be simpler, when it was just, God knows, go to the butcher shop, go to the dairy. I don't know, it's at this kind of simpler age that we all imagine. But I do know that life is complex now. Whether it was simpler before, we'll probably never know because we live now. It's complex, there's loads to do, but there is a certain amount of steerage that's needed. And this is about saying no to things that waste your time, saying no to people who waste your time, and saying yes to people who enrich your life, okay? Also, when the Emperor comes into play, I always ask the question, where's the father? And for me, that question is about how do you experience boundaries? How did you grow up with boundaries? For example, did you grow up with someone quite authoritarian or distant? Did you need to please them to get attention? Did you get the message that you're good enough, that you're worthy? It's a very subtle thing, this thing about growing up with the notion, with the simple implicit knowledge that you're good enough for no reason at all. It's what comes from unconditional love. And that is when a parent, and they don't even have to say it to you, you can just feel it. You feel that you are accepted just as you are. And it is, of course, probably, I would say, the greatest gift you can give to a child. But especially if you grew up in the kind of 70s and 80s, there wasn't an awful lot of that knocking around. It just wasn't the trend. People got married early, and raising children is difficult, especially when you're young and you still have things you want to do for yourself, okay? So I'm not saying this is a blame game, because actually that doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't improve anything, and it doesn't open the door spiritually, okay? Which is what we're looking to do. Sometimes the gift to yourself is just to acknowledge, here I go with the cards again, is just to acknowledge it. That's all you have to do. Because the simple act of recognizing it kind of melts away, and then there's this emptiness which you can fill with something different, okay? 10 of Cups. I'm seeing this as spiritual fulfillment. And again, it could be a small thing, a small group. It could be saying no to somebody that you should have said no to ages ago. And just, it's a bit like when you're a kid or you're with a kid and you go to that bit by the sea where the sand is really wet, and you dig out the hole and the sea rushes back in and fills it. When you say no, or you put up a boundary, however difficult you find it at the time, good things rush in and fill that. You don't do it because that's going to happen. It's not really the jam tomorrow thing. But it's just interesting to have the capacity and the kahunas to make the space by saying no. Sometimes that also means, and we've talked about this before, saying no and then being silent. It's what empaths find so hard to do, because silence is awkward, and empaths have always been taught to make everybody else comfortable. I'm definitely reading for a few people here, I can feel it. So stop making everyone else feel comfortable, especially people who make you feel a bit on edge. Those are the people we're trying to be funny with, we're trying to impress, we're trying to make them comfortable. Stop all that, okay? You don't need to. It doesn't matter if they think you're boring. It doesn't matter what they think, because they're thinking about themselves most of the time. Okay, I'm getting for some of you, they may be dealing with some sort of narcissistic person. Honestly, you can wear yourself ragged, impressing somebody, trying to impress somebody, second guessing yourself. The freedom is in giving all of that up. Giving it up. Absolute freedom, and also self-worth. Because by giving that up, by not caring, you are putting yourself first. And that is where you're at with it. Then we got the Tower, breaking down the molecules and the atoms and the bits and bobs and the wood and everything of your old ideas. I feel like as we move into 2024, and I've done some shadow reading on this as well, and I think I'll do some more. Let me know in the comments section what kind of reading you would like actually as we move from 2023 to 2024, and I will do that. We are breaking down bigger barriers than we know, and then we begin again with something very, very solid. The Ace of Pentacles has the portal, but it also has a very strong foundation. It's not flim-flam, okay? It's something what I call you can bite the coin. So this is rebuilding from the beginning, but with something practical, measurable and strong. Then we have the King of Cups. For the King of Cups, for one or two of you, this is a person who's being very evasive with you. And it's a form of, I don't want to say abuse because it's too strong, but it's a form of punishment. It's a form of control. Stop looking for answers from this person. Again, looking for answers is like looking for approval. Don't bother. Approve yourself and answer that question yourself. It's so much more empowering than chasing after someone else for it. Okay? Woof, I feel like I've waggled my finger today, but it's a very empowering and positive reading. Woohoo! Leave me a comment. Tell me what kind of closing reading you would like towards the new year. And I will see you soon. Namaste.